No worries. Let's get it. We just started the quotes, by the way.
You ready?
Success means doing the best we can with what we have. Success is the doing, not the getting. In the trying, not the triumph. Success is a personal standard, reaching for the highest that is in us, becoming all that we can be. And that's the OZ Ziegler.
Oh, gee, Zig Ziglar. You know, listen, I'm gonna ask that you say that again because I want that to resonate with us all, not just me.
Success means doing the best we can with what we have.
Mhm.
Success is the doing, not the getting. In the trying, not the triumph. Success is a personal standard, reaching for the highest that is in us, becoming all that we can be.
Right on. Why did that resonate with you?
Because that's what it is. It's not about the rest is what you get in the end, but it's all about what you got to put forth and how you got to go at it. Lamisha is showing a straight example of that. Just go at it, get it, and that's where the success comes from after you've done all that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, one of the best things that I love about that quote is that it explains to us that success is personal, right? You know, you always think of it as something that is for everybody else. You right? Because you think about when you become successful, someone's going to tell you that you're successful, or people that are going to be able to see that you're successful. But really and truly, it's about you. It's about you being able to wake up and go to sleep and make sure that you are living up to your potential, right? And if not, you're going to be sick. You're going to be mad. You're going to be dealing with a lot of regret. And I see it a lot of the times in people that I get a chance to meet. I can tell that they're not happy with themselves. No matter what people tell me about them or what they think about them, they're not happy with themselves. And it's mainly because they're not living up to their own potential. And that right there is a fight, a bully that I do not want to face. So I love that quote. Drop that quote inside a Telegram. Let them live with that one. They need it.
Thank you. I got you.
Success is personal. Who's next, guys?
All right, I got it. If you set your goal ridiculously high and it's let me start over. If you set your goals ridiculously high and it's a failure, you will feel above everyone else. James Cameron.
What does that mean to you?
Just always set your goals high, because even if you don't reach it, you're gonna be higher than if you had set it really low.
That's an excellent way to look at things, right? You know, that's an excellent way to look at failure. And I just want to take some time, right, to really think about that, right? The way that they're looking at failure, the way that man looks at failure is much more different than the way that we look at failure. We look at failure like, oh man, there's no coming back from it. We failed. We shouldn't try again. We're not worthy. He looks at failure like, no, I'm going to feel better than anyone else. And that to me is the choice of a real champion. That's the choice of someone that is definitely not going to let themselves down and definitely not going to let others down. I love it. Thank you for that. Fire us up. Drop that inside a Telegram like you already has, by the way. I've seen it. I love those two quotes. Let's bring it. Ron, you up?
Okay. Bear with me on this one because it's a little long, but it's important. Let's do it. Okay. Tell a story. Believe it or not, storytelling is one of the most effective ways to make an impression on a prospect. As humans, we remember stories more than other information, but we don't use logic to process these stories. Guess what else we rarely use logic to do? Make decisions. As a sales rep, you are limited to make a final impression on your prospect in the closing phase of the sales process. You'll want to use this opportunity wisely. Now, I'm not recommending that you tell an irrelevant story that takes the conversation on a tangent. What I do recommend is that you keep a few types of stories in your back pocket that you could tell when making your final pitch. 90% of decisions we make are based on emotion rather than logic. So a story is a smart and ethical way to tap into those emotions. Below are a few types of stories that you commit to memory to tell relatively quick. Success story. Share a story about a client who was similar to the prospect in size, industry, or pain points. Then share the benefits that the company experienced as a result of using your solution. Okay? A quick aside. I know I mentioned earlier that you shouldn't go on an unrelated tangent, but occasionally when things are going well between yourself and the prospect, you could use the moment to incorporate humor, emotion, or hope into conversation. This can be especially effective if you know the prospect is evaluating the competitors and you want to stand out. Hold on, I got to go to another page because it's too long. Okay, 1 second. Okay. Hold on, Quincy. I lost it. Okay. There are certain words that people remember more than others, like tank, door, and hand. These words are hard to include in a natural conversation about sales, but it's not a difficult task to include some of them in your conversation. Oof. I had to use 2 pages today. That was so long.
I see. It was hard on you. It sounded like it was rough on you. But let me ask you, give me some context. So based on everything that you read, what did you take away?
Well, I mean, obviously, when in our industry, when you're talking to a customer, there's nothing wrong with saying, I know you do this a lot too. Yeah, I know we hear that a lot around here. Slow internet, high bills, prices always going up. Right? You have to always have some kind of story that the customer could relate to with other people. People are funny, right? If especially around here, right? If somebody's doing work on their house, man, everybody goes over to look and see what's going on, right? The Rocco next door had some work done last week. I needed some work done on the roof, so I went over. I talked to the guy, and yesterday he went up on my roof and checked it out. So people like to have something that somebody else don't have or needs, or they're curious about what they're doing, and they buy like on that premise.
Yeah, absolutely. It's called the Jones effect, right? You
The
know,
what?
the Jones effect.
Right.
It's called the Jones effect, and it's very effective method, right? But what you got to do is you got to be able to include others in it. And mainly, especially in door-to-door sales, it's one of the most effective tools that we actually have. I can be working on a block or working inside of a building, you know, and the first thing I want to do is learn somebody's name. Because once I learn one person's name, can you imagine how many times I'm going to use that on that same entire block? It's like if I knock at your door and I speak with you and I could have a 30-second conversation with you, but I learned Ronald Beluzi's name. You know, he lives right there at the corner house, right? When I get to the next house, hey, how you doing? I was over here visiting with your neighbor over here, Ron. You know Ron? Yeah, absolutely. I just broke down a wall within 5 to 10 seconds. I just broke down a wall that they may have had up about me. Why? Because I just spoke with Ron, somebody that they know. I said a name that was, you know, that was genuine to them and close to them. It's an eye opener. It's just as good as being able to say someone's name when you're speaking to them. So I love that effect. I love that Jones effect. And it's very important that these guys hear that. So drop that inside a Telegram and then they'll get it again in video format. Thank you for that, Ron. You always bring the fire. All right, guys. Thank you for our morning motivation. That does it for our sales quotes. Give it up. All right, cool. Now let's get right into the sales training where we train with Grant Cardone. Hold on 1 second while I share my screen with you. Ready for our enough calls here. All right, 1 minute and 43 seconds. Today, we're going to be training on calls, not on a regular basis.
Your calls need to be on a regular basis, okay? The randomity, one call now, 30 days later, another call, 3 months from now, it'll be another one. They're not regular enough. You need them frequent. You need volume and you need frequency. The third biggest mistake with follow-up is not regular enough, okay? You need a regular, it's like working out. You can work out once a week, nothing's going to change. You ought to just stay home and eat cookies. It's not even an attempt to change things. Don't even pat yourself on the back for one workout. The only thing that happens is you hurt once a week. 4 times a month, you're in pain. The way for that workout to work is every day. You're going to feel better about yourself. It's going to create a discipline. It's going to create a different sense, self-esteem of yourself. The calls, the follow-up, the mail needs to be on a regular basis. Remember, with follow-up, be the stream, not the rock. The rock will not beat the stream ever. You need to be consistent and regular, there all the time. Because when I start calling people back with regularity, over and over, today, 3 days from now, 6 days from now, we're going to show you a whole schedule that we lay out for you over a period of 2 years of follow-up laid out. By that time, you'll pick up the rest of it, okay? Calls on a regular basis will start to wear a client out. It will start to build your persona in the marketplace. It will make you the celebrity. It will take you out of obscurity because you're regular. You're there all the time. You're like the policeman on the corner, the teacher in the classroom. You're dependable. You're trustworthy. You're the relationship. You're the contact to become a contract. Be regular. It's a mistake in follow-up.
Right, all right.
Your calls need to be on a regular basis, okay? The random.
We're going to learn today. Guys, it's time for the quiz. All right. What two elements are crucial to successful follow-up calls? Is it A, purpose and persistence? Is it B, creativity and clarity? Is it C, volume and frequency? Or is it D, none of the above?
A.
A.
2 A's. Mommy, what you say? You're on mute.
A.
Got you, Ron. All right. So, Mommy, you're on mute.
There we go. A, purpose and persistence.
All right. Unanimous there. What is important to be the stream instead of the rock, as Grant mentions in this video? What is it important to be? The stream instead of the rock, as Grant mentions in this video? No, I'm sorry. Why is it important to be the stream instead of the rock, as Grant mentions in this video? Okay. A, the stream is more powerful than the rock. B, the stream has the ability to chip away at the rock. C, the stream represents a consistent, regular flow of action. Or D, all of the above?
D.
D.
What you say, Mish?
D. I guess.
Oh, okay. She's guessing, guys. All right, y'all still want it? Should we? All right, majority wins, I guess. That's all three. The number one objective of making calls on a regular basis is to A, increase production, B, take yourself out of obscurity, C, overcome fear, or D, get out of your comfort zone.
B.
Take yourself out of obscurity. 1.
D.
A.
So is that, we got 1A, 1B, and 1D? Is that correct?
I said B.
Right, you said B. Misha said A, and Ron, did you say D?
B.
B, okay, so we got 2 B's and then we got 1A, right? So I'll be the tiebreaker and I'm going with B. Take yourself out of obscurity, right? So let's get to it. Listen, you must first establish yourself as a dependable and trustworthy blank to get a blank. So is it you must first establish yourself as a dependable and trustworthy contact to get a contract? Or is it you must first establish yourself as a dependable and trustworthy professional to get a sale? Or is it you must first establish yourself as a dependable and trustworthy friend to get a referral? Or none of the above?
Mm.
I'm gonna say B.
Professional to get a sale. We got 1B.
Mm.
Ooh, I think this one stumped you.
Yep.
Go with B.
B.
All right, yeah, all going with B. Okay, let's do it.
You must want to go with something else.
I want to go with A. I want to go with A. Let's get it. Drum roll, please.
Whoa.
Yeah, man, listen. So look, this 50% here, let's take a look at what we got wrong here. What two elements are crucial to successful follow-up calls? We put purpose and persistence. It's volume and frequency. So that's the first one that we missed. And then the last one was professional and sell is what we put, and it should have been contact and contract. All right. So listen, either way it go, we learn from it. I mean, either way, I can tell you when I get 100, right, I feel good. It's great on my self-esteem. But when I get a 50%, I learn. And I know you guys do as well. So let's get to it. What did we just learn?
That is the third biggest mistake.
Man, we didn't pick up anything. All right. So let me share this, guys, right? One of the things that I picked up was how important it is to be a reliable contact, right? A reliable contact. I can't tell you how many times a customer has told me to call them back and I did not call them back. One, maybe because I don't have the time and I feel like I'm chasing people. I don't want to feel that way. But you have to feel some uncomfort. You have to feel some uncomfort if you're going to be at the top of your game inside of sales, right? It's not about being a pest. It's about being able to help your customer. You know, a part of your job is to be the more experienced solution, you know, in whatever setting you guys are in. You could be sitting at their door. You could be over the phone. If they ask you for something as simple as, hey, to call back at a certain time, then I need to be reliable enough to call back at a certain time. Now, most people will honestly even laugh when you actually call back. Why? Because that's their way of getting rid of you. They're testing you to say, well, you know what, can they be a reliable contact? And I see it all the time. You know, I got people inside of my phone now that I was supposed to call back yesterday. I didn't get a chance to call them back. I'm going to call them back today to follow up, but then they obviously have the 50-50 towing costs up where they can just get me away from them at this point. Now, I told you to call me yesterday, right? And it's fair, right? That's fair game for me, right? Now, had I called back when they asked me to call back, then maybe I would have had a better chance. They probably would have got rid of me then too as well, but I need to be more reliable on my end. One of the best things about this whole exercise is the fact that I can control, I can take my destiny into my own hands. I can control it, right? Just by becoming a more reliable contact and following up with people. Very important. I think that is key. Something to take away, another tool inside of our tool belt. Did anybody else take anything away from that? All right.
That you
Yes,
have to be regular. You got to be totally regular with all of it, the emails, the texts, the calls, everything, the follow up. You got to keep a regular routine for it.
everything. I mean, we can draft it back to everything that we do here, right? We try to keep a regular routine, right? On Fridays, what happens? We know what happens on Fridays. Every morning, this call is at 8 a.m., right? What time are the guys supposed to be in the field? 2 p.m. What time is prime time? 5 p.m. What time do we get out the field? 9 p.m. You know, there is a set schedule for everything, and we have to be more reliable as a company because that's what people respect. They respect reliable things, right? You know, when you go home, you expect for your home to be there. You expect for your bed to be in the same place. You know, you need some, so you know, people take comfort in reliability and things that they can rely on. So we have to become that. And of course, for our customer, we have to become that for them as well. So it hits home for me. It definitely resonates. All right, guys, another powerful call. I think that we learned a lot. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time. Enjoy.